Imagine this. You're living the dream. You've signed with multiple professional football clubs. You're raking in a fat paycheck. You're rolling in luxury cars, flashing lights, the whole superstar lifestyle. But here's the catch. You've never played a single match. Sounds insane, right? But one man pulled it off and got away with it for years. His name? Kaiser, the greatest football scammer of all time. Carlos Enrique Raposo, better known as Kaiser, was born in Brazil in 1963. Like every other kid growing up in Brazil, football was his dream. Every Brazilian child wanted to make it big on the pitch, but there was one small problem. Kaiser was absolutely terrible at football. I'm talking really bad. You see, Kaiser wasn't like the others. He wasn't banking on skill to make it in the game. What he had was something far more powerful, an ingenious plan that would change the game forever. He wasn't playing football. He was playing the system. Kaiser's first move was brilliant in its simplicity. He tricked everyone into thinking he was a football prodigy. This was way before social media, before Instagram Reels and YouTube highlights. So if you had a reputation as a wonder kid, who was going to challenge that? And Kaiser knew exactly how to work the system. He wasn't just an average guy off the street. He was best friends with some of Brazil's biggest stars. Romero, Renato, Gaucho, and Mundo, the kind of legends whose words were gold in the football world. When a club asked about Kaiser's talent, they heard the same story from every legend. Oh yeah, he's incredible. Definitely the real deal. That was all it took. A contract was signed. Boom. Instant footballer. But here's where things get crazy. How do you keep a professional contract without actually playing? Simple. You never play the game. Kaiser had that part down to an art. Every time he joined a new club, he would immediately fake an injury, something serious enough to keep him out for months. And back then, no one could prove he wasn't injured. Medical technology wasn't as advanced as it is today. So while other players were grinding away, training hard, and earning their place on the pitch, Kaiser was living the life. Luxury cars, endless parties, the works. He was getting paid like a star while sitting on the sidelines. By now you're probably thinking, okay, someone had to have caught on, right? There's no way this guy could keep up the act forever. Well, here's the thing. Kaiser was always one step ahead. Whenever things started to look suspicious, like when a club president pushed to see him play, Kaiser had an escape plan. He didn't just shy away from the field. He created chaos. In one wild incident, a club president demanded to see Kaiser on the pitch. What did Kaiser do? He jumped into the stands and started a massive fight with the fans. Before the game even started, he'd gotten himself suspended and still got paid. That's how clever he was. Kaiser wasn't just scamming clubs. He was manipulating the entire football ecosystem. Whenever a journalist started sniffing around or players started whispering, Kaiser would jump ship. He signed with clubs in Brazil, Mexico, and even France. Every time the cycle repeated. Fake injury, collect money, cause a scene if anyone gets suspicious, move to the next club. And here's the kicker. No one ever exposed him. Kaiser knew how to play the game off the pitch. He partied with the elite, hung out with the biggest stars, and convinced coaches and presidents that he was the unluckiest guy in football. Bad luck was his perfect excuse. The real secret? He was a master of networking. He had connections at every level. As long as he had powerful allies, his scam couldn't fail. For 20 years, Kaiser lived like a king. He played for massive clubs, Botafogo, Flamengo, even teams in France and Mexico. But in 1989, the walls started to close in. A journalist started asking questions. Players began to whisper about Kaiser's strange injuries and his complete absence from the pitch. The truth was too big to hide. Kaiser's scam unraveled. But here's the thing. Did he care? Not at all. Why? Because by then, he had everything. He had the money, the fame, the parties, and he'd never even had to kick a ball. Carlos Kaiser isn't just a fraud in the world of football. He's a legend, a man who outsmarted the system, who turned the beautiful game into a business, one that was all about appearances and connections. Kaiser didn't just scam clubs. He played the entire football world like a finely tuned instrument. He created his own brand. He was more than just a player. And in the end, you have to ask yourself, was he a criminal? Or was he a genius? If you thought this story was wild, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. What do you think? Was Carlos Kaiser the greatest scammer in football history, or just a guy who played the system like a pro? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.